WCDI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Everyone is looking for convenience these days, but one thing that's out of reach if you live in Mississippi: wine delivered to your front door. Mississippi is suing 4 online wine companies after they shipped to minors and dry counties in the state. But there's a proposal to change the laws on this issue. Courtney N. Jackson explains.
This liquid lineup all got shipped into the Magnolia State despite the laws making it illegal.
Bootlegging's bootlegging, whether you got designer clothes on or overalls.
Agents from the Attorney General's office and members of the Revenue Department's Alcohol Beverage Control Division logged on and tried to buy wine. Out of 63 companies, 22 sold it to them. But get this.
We went online and intentionally made it clear that these were underage children. All they had to do was to go check online to see, what the age of the person was. Some kind of age verifications is what I think that they have a duty of due diligence to go do. But no, they shipped it actually knowing that it was a young person. It was clear.
The Department of Revenue Commissioner says the state's also losing out on $6 of revenue for every $25 bottle of wine.
We got to change the law. We got to enforce the law. In current position at ABC and Department of Revenue is that we're going to enforce the law until the policymakers do something different.
The consensus is that many folks may not even know this practice is illegal.
I think there has been some wine shipped into the state out of ignorance.
Representative Charles Busby filed the bill that would change that. He says they've included measures to address the state's concerns.
And every package has to be signed for. And then they have to produce an ID that shows that they're over 21 years old to sign for it. And the box has to be labeled alcoholic beverages must be 21.
The proposed legislation would also require companies to register with the Department of Revenue to ensure the state sales tax is collected. Lawmakers are fighting back against fake urine from streaming into the state. The urine trouble bill could block the flow of the synthetic product being sold at truck stops. Mississippi Association of Self-Insurers Director Dan Gibson is helping push the bill. He calls it a safety concern, saying drug tests should accurately reveal if there are dangerous chemicals present. The bill moved out of committee and will be presented to the full House. Several states have already banned synthetic urine. Mississippi's bond rating has stabilized, but in the past year and a half, it has taken a hit. Bond rating services dropped the state from a AA+ to AA, citing, among other things, an expectation of a relatively slow rate of growth and the state having to dip into reserves to cover the budget. State Treasurer Lynn Fitch says that although the rating has stabilized, there's room for improvement.
There are a few things we have to look at. What are our revenue sources coming in? We certainly pay our debt on time, and that's my responsibility to be sure that we pay it on time. But we also have to be very conscientious of how are we changing our education? How are we changing our economic growth? All those factors add up to keep us at a stable. We'd like to go to the improved level, and that's the ultimate goal.
Fitch is currently serving in her second term as state treasurer. And speaking of her, she was in Calhoun County tonight helping businesses and community leaders celebrate the area's success in the past year. The Calhoun Economic Development Association held its annual banquet tonight. Residents and leaders came together to celebrate the past while also looking to the region's future. Fitch was the keynote speaker, addressing a number of issues, including the role of a treasurer and things that can be done to continue moving the region and state forward. For those with a sweet tooth, the city of Ackerman was the place to be as the city held its mayor meet and greet. Well, just days ago, Tim Cutts was elected Ackerman's new mayor. Dozens stopped by the Chamber of Commerce to congratulate and get to know their town's new leader, all while enjoying tasty treats including cookies, cake, and punch.
My wife and I said we wanted to get involved in the community and what's going on. And meeting the mayor is our jump off.
The biggest thing I want them to know is that we have such a great little town to promote. We have a really good school system. We have a safe community.
The new mayor says he's looking forward to the future of the city of Ackerman. Well, it was a pretty nice day out there today. Let's get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
It's kind of indeed a great day, tons of sunshine, a perfect sunset. Look at that earlier this evening with some of those high cirrus clouds out and about. We still have some of those high cirrus clouds in the region. You can see them streaming on in from the southwest. That's about it for tonight, but we will eventually see some rain from these clouds by the weekend, but our Friday's looking pretty good. Right now with those high clouds, we've got temperatures cooling on down currently in the, I guess we're jumping past that. We've got temperatures in the 30s in most spots. We wake up at 8 o'clock, mid-30s, 55 at noon, 62 at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So a pretty nice Friday for us, Scott. Your full weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
A Noxubee County man who was wrongfully convicted of raping and murdering a 3-year-old girl in the 1990s has died. 58-year-old Levon Brooks passed away from cancer yesterday. Brooks spent 16 years in prison before being released and exonerated in 2008. Marjorie Talley has more.
You know, it was a big hullabaloo and everybody was running around and the press trucks were there. And I just never forget him coming up to me and grabbing my hand and saying, "Thank you."
The Innocence Project and attorneys, including criminal defense attorney Carrie Jordan, found a way to get Brooks his freedom in 2008. Jordan helped get the Innocence Project involved in the case.
He told me that he would never forget that without me it would not be possible. So, and he gave me the biggest smile. And how that man could smile after spending all that time in prison, I still to this day am not really sure.
The Columbus attorney will remember Brooks as a grateful and humble man. This is an interview with him right after the ruling was handed down.
You and the sureties on your bond are hereby discharged. You're free to go.
And that's where I was raised by my mom and daddy. I always forgive. And that's what I did, I forgave.
Noxubee County Coroner R.L. Calhoun has known Brooks since he was a teen. Once Brooks was released, Calhoun never heard him say anything negative about being wrongfully convicted.
I ran into him like early in the morning when I'm getting off duty. He getting ready to go to home. He kept a smile on his face. Kept a smile on his face, you know. And I was glad to see that smile. And pretty me and everyone in the community was.
February 15th will be 10 years since Brooks walked out of the Noxubee County Courthouse a free man. He spent nearly 20 years in prison for a murder and rape he didn't commit. Jordan says one of the supporting factors for Brooks' release was the unreliability of bite mark evidence that falsely convicted him. She believes this case changed the way bite mark evidence is accepted in court cases.
It did in the state of Mississippi. I think in other parts of the country that were a little bit more ahead from a scientific and technology standpoint, there had already started to be great suspicion.
A confession from the suspect and DNA evidence cleared Brooks and Kennedy Brewer in an unrelated homicide in Noxubee County. Justin Albert Johnson was sentenced to life in prison for the crime in 2012. The Brooks family did not want to talk on camera today. New at 10 tonight, an Ackerman football player forced off the field after undergoing a liver transplant is getting back up from his team. Tonight, the Booster Club put on a pulled pork benefit to help raise money for senior Mo Harden and his family. Harden had to have a liver transplant on December 22nd after being diagnosed with strep throat, then having some sort of reaction to the antibiotics, according to his coaches. Harden and his family are still at Batson's Children's Hospital in Jackson. His teammates, though, here at home, hard at work to help their brother out.
Mo and Mo's family's been in Jackson at the hospital pretty much since December. So, you know, the medical bills pile up and, just whatever our community can do to help.
Coach Young says Harden is back in the ICU due to some intestinal bleeding. Well, tonight the goal was to raise $1,700, and they raised that, and that will help out with expenses.
All right, I found those temperatures. We are currently at 33 in Columbus, 38 Starkville, 32 Starkville, 38 in Tupelo, still 40 in West Point, 34 Winona. All right, that's where we are right now. Your full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It's great to see you this evening. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Columbus this evening, or this afternoon into this evening, shows a lot of that sunshine. Some of those wispy high cirrus clouds, those will gradually come on in later tonight and for our Friday. So a little bit more cloudiness for tomorrow. You can see with our high resolution satellite, some of these higher clouds coming on in. The little strips of blue there, that's some higher cloudiness here, but that's elevated moisture. We're not going to see any rain from that tonight or tomorrow. We are cooling down into the 30s and 40s in the region. A little bit warmer tonight versus where we were 24 hours ago. So that's a nice little positive change if you like the warmer weather, but it's been pretty cold here. Over the last 32 days in Starkville, we've had 22 of those 32 days below average, 11 nights at or below 20 degrees, 5 days at or below 32. Same story in Tupelo, very, very cold for the last 32 days. So you're wondering why your heat bills may have doubled? Well, that is why. It has been very, very cold. And the last time I checked, we were in the top 10 as far as coldest Januaries on record here in North Mississippi. So it's just been a cold stretch here. Not as cold tonight, upper 20s to low 30s. So we will continue to cool down a few more degrees. Low 60s for tomorrow. It's looking like a great Friday for us with a mix of sun and clouds in the region. I mentioned those higher clouds. They will continue to come on in. We don't really expect any rainfall in our neck of the woods. There could be a few showers farther to our southwest, but in general, the region should be dry tomorrow. But that will change Saturday and Sunday. Another system's coming our way for us, anywhere between, let's say, a quarter of an inch to maybe a half inch or more, give or take. The heavier rain right along the coast here just to our south and southeast. But we still have some shower possibilities here with Futurecast as we put this into motion locally. You can see some of those higher clouds will continue to build as we go throughout the course of our Friday. They will thicken, and we may see a few showers Saturday morning into the afternoon hours, but you don't really see a wide concentration of very heavy rainfall, at least during the day on Saturday. As we get into Saturday evening, Saturday night with the actual cold front coming on through here, a better chance for some more widespread activity, but I'm hopeful a lot of that can get out of here by midday Sunday. So some showers here Saturday, yes. Saturday night and the Sunday morning, probably. By Saturday or by Sunday afternoon, rather, hopefully more in the way of clearing developing around here. Mild weather for this weekend, upper 50s to around 60. A little bit more sunshine early next week, Scott, but we are cooler, low 50s Monday, mid 40s Tuesday, lows into the mid 20s there, and then a nice little rebound back to around 60 Wednesday and Thursday. Our next chance for rain by next Thursday with yet another cold front.
Noxubee County residents took to the streets tonight to celebrate a championship season. Tom has highlights from Macon later in sports.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
We know age, medication, and even alcohol use can increase the chances of hypothermia, but how can it be prevented? We get a few tips in our Health Talk with Baptist.
It is important to act quickly if you suspect that you or someone else has the signs and symptoms of hypothermia. Get to a warm, sheltered area, remove any wet clothing, use an electric blanket to warm the core of the body first. Chest, neck, head, and groin, the areas of major heat loss. If no electric blanket is available, use skin-to-skin contact under loose blankets or towels. Give warm beverages to drink. Do not give alcoholic beverages. If the person is semi-conscious or worse, try to keep him or her awake and talking. Get medical attention as soon as possible at the nearest hospital emergency room. At the hospital, treatment involves a slow heating of the body using blankets or other means of increasing body warmth. Of course, it is always best to prevent hypothermia. If you are planning to spend time outside, wear the right clothing, including a hat, scarf, and gloves. Wear several layers of loose-fitting clothing, including a wind-resistant outer layer and water-resistant coat and shoes. Go inside when you are shivering or if you are wet. Do not drink alcohol. Eat well-balanced meals and stay hydrated. Take special precautions with elderly people and babies. If rooms are not kept warm enough, the elderly and babies can be affected by hypothermia even if they remain indoors. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
History is made inside the Hump. Mississippi State playing on a whole new level. Highlights are next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Grab your tiara, senior night for one of the best players in Bulldogs history, Victoria Vivians. On top of that, the Bulldogs looking to make some history of their own. The Bulldogs back at home inside the hump, taking on Florida. Early on for the Bulldogs, up early, Morgan William is going to find Ro Johnson, drives inside for the bucket. That's a nice deuce, easy there. So Bulldogs, they're extending the lead here, and later on, William finds Blair Schaefer, who had herself a ball game, drains the triple, doing what she does best. Still in the first quarter off the fast break, Ro Johnson trailed to Victoria Vivians, nice stop pop jumper, nothing but nylon there. More from the Bulldogs. Schaefer is going to find Tiara McCowan inside. Excuse me. Just kind of sidesteps her way in. She'd score her 1,000th career point in this game. That's McCowan. But Blair Schaefer getting things rolling, drains yet another triple. Extends that lead to 9. More from the Bulldogs. Good ball movement. Vivians on the wing, wide open. That's going to be the result 9 times out of 10. Well, 5 times out of 10. She's shooting close to 50%. But one more time, Vivians, step back jumper plus the harm. That's the way you get 3 the hard way. And second half, Bulldogs just flat out dominating. Off the fast break, William to Vivians. Stop jumper. It's automatic, folks. Bulldogs off to their best start in program history with the 90-53 win over Florida. They're now 21-0. Here's head coach Vic Schaefer after the historic night.
It's just special. It's not like this most places. So I know our kids were excited. That place gets loud, boy, and you get going and get some runs going. You get in the press. It really gets electric in there. I mean, there's just not another building that I can really think of that gets like it does here. But again, I just think you get, you get you get it out of the way. They've set the record. It's done. Now we can get back to just kind of focusing on, okay, we've got Mississippi on Sunday. We got to get ready to go play them for the second time.
Ole Miss with their 4th game against the top 12 opponent in 6 tries, taking on the Lady Vols. Tennessee jumps out first. Jamie Narid to the rack plus the harm. So Tennessee gets out on top with the and 1 bucket, but Ole Miss hanging around off the inbounds play. Medina Muhammad with the corner triple. Just wait until she does what she does in a little bit. But Tennessee would take control in the first half, and Anastasia Hayes with the steal and the 2. Tennessee would lead by as much as 16 in the first half, but enter Muhammad. She goes absolutely bonkers. Behind the back, step back, triple, hand in her face. Doesn't matter. Alston drives, kicks to Muhammad in the corner. Another hand in her face. Just doesn't matter. She is absolutely ablaze. Defense leads the offense. Muhammad with the steal. Tori Lewis in transition. Gives it to the open trailer. Tennessee leaves her wide open. That's a bold strategy. She knocks that one down and make it 12 straight points for Medina Muhammad. And it's a ball game yet again in Knoxville. And they weren't done just yet. Into the second half, Alyssa Alston, she's going to drive to the cup for 2. It'd be a tie ball game at 49. Ole Miss looking for the upset. But Tennessee would go on a 19-6 run plus the press-breaking triple. Rebels drop their 4th straight. Tennessee gets the W, 75-66. Tajuco Hoops in Fulton, ICC hosting EMCC. Good start for ICC. I should say that's EMCC. Ilian Scott with the 2-hand jam. Home team comes right back. Eric Brown pulls up for the rainbow triple. That's a beauty. Lions answer right back with a 3-ball of their own. Cam Horton with the pull-up triple from the top of the key. And one more time for the Lions. Keith Harris going to knock down a triple of his own. EMCC goes on to dominate 78-51 on the men's side. But to the women's side, ICC leading early in the second half. Third quarter we go. Columbus's Kayla Rogers penetrates for the nice, easy right-hand finish for the bucket. But ICC in control here. Lauren Fitch taking it all the way for the deuce. But Lady Lions cut into this lead. Shot is off the bounce, but Emily Evans right there to corral the offensive rebound. She's going to scoop and score. It'd be dead man 1 bucket. But it would be way too much ICC down the stretch as the Lady Lions are able, or I should say EMCC Indians, are able to split the home and home, boys and girls, get the W 59-55. Also earlier today, the 4A state champs from Noxubee County celebrating their 5th state championship in style, holding a parade. Hey, dedicated the state championship win to Coach James Patterson. Noxubee primed to make another title run coming up next season. That does it for sports. The last weekly forecast is next.
Well, for all you brides and grooms to be out there, you have a chance to get a big chunk of your wedding plans done all under one roof. The 25th annual WCBI Bridal Showcase is this Saturday, the 27th, at the Trotter Convention Center here in Columbus. There will be 2 floors of vendors to help you with all your wedding planning needs, from the dress to the reception, pictures to the honeymoon. There will also be a fashion show featuring the latest in dresses and tuxes. Our very own Andrea Self and Allie Martin will be your host. The fun starts at 9 a.m. For more information, just visit our website, WCBI.com.
Now, just be on the safe side. If you're heading out to that event or anything else this weekend, just bring an umbrella. Just be on the safe side. Tomorrow, though, or Friday, we're looking great. Low 60s, increasing amounts of cloud cover, but still dry. A little bit more sun, cooler weather early next week, Scott. But overall, no signs of Arctic air for the next 7 days, and that's pretty nice after the stretch we have.
Definitely going to keep my fingers crossed that it doesn't come back.
Still winter, though.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.